Hey guys, what's up? As you can see, I'm still in my robe, still have my coffee going on. It's, I don't want to say early in the morning. I just realized I have a cut on my hand and I don't know what that's all about. Bizarre. And I'm still in my robe. This is my white robe I was telling you guys about. This is my one I got from DoubleTree. But anyway, I'm wearing this because my black one, which is my favorite one, is in the wash. And but I do love this one. Wasn't I just complaining the other day that like I only like my black robe? I really do like this. It's just bigger. And I obviously have workout hair going on. I'll try to throw in a few vlogs once in a while, you guys, when I actually have like makeup on and an outfit. But anyway, today I wanted to shoot this before I got in my workout clothes because I'm getting ready to do my workout. This is day 3. So day 3 of my new 21-day getting our habits back in place focus. And one of the things I mentioned in maybe either yesterday's vlog or the day before is that I talked to Carla while we were out in, while we were out in, I almost said Vegas. I'm so used to Blog World being in Vegas. It was in LA this year. But when we were out there, you know, I was talking with Carla in the room. We did some videos, which you guys will see in a little bit. And for those of you that don't know Carla, her website is Ms. Fit Online, M-I-Z-F-I-T online, MsFitOnline.com. And she's been a really good friend of mine for several years now. She's a Fitfluential ambassador. She's amazing. Same age as me. Probably the most, I mean, just buff. I mean, she is so adorable. Like when you meet her in person, you know from her videos or from her pictures online that she's like totally buff and in shape, but you see her in person and she's just adorable. I mean, it's just, and her body is just so cute and small, and not in an unhealthy way. I mean, she's just the picture of health, but you just love her, and she's in amazing shape. And her story is, if I'm correct, I'm paraphrasing, she lost, oh gosh, I'm trying to think of the amount of weight. She's lost like, I'm just going to put in a range, like 30 to 40 pounds. It could be a little less, could be a little more, but she lost it like 15 or 16 years ago, and she's kept it off. So if you look at her and you met someone like her, you would go, oh, you know, she's in great shape and she's obviously figured something out. You know, I don't want to say that you look at someone like that that's fit, and I've brought this up when I meet some of these personal trainers or fitness celebrities that have fitness DVDs. You know, they're in such great shape, and I think many of us that haven't reached our goal yet, or we're still on the way, right? And we're still having struggles. We look at these people that are exceptionally buff and they're in great shape. And I think we look at them and think, they don't even have to work at it. You know, it's so easy. Why can't I get to that place where it's just so easy? And I do know that that's something that I've thought about other people. Like, look at Madonna. She's gotten that buff and she's that perfect, or sometimes she can be a little bit creepy looking. Anyway, that wasn't nice, sorry. But when I was talking to Carla, you know, she's always said she's gotten herself in a routine. Again, this is something that she just does. It's a habit. She gets up every day. She gets up very early. She goes to bed very early. She's in bed by 9. She's up at like 5, if I'm correct. She does her workouts first thing in the morning. And again, she does what works for her. I'm not sharing what she does to say this is what you should do or what I should do. We've got to remember there's not one fit for everybody. We've got to find out what works for us and what we're going to like to stick with. For some people, that means getting up every morning and doing an hour of empty tummy cardio. For other people, it's never doing cardio. For some people, it's yoga only. For other people, it's running marathons. For some, it's figure competition or bodybuilding. Remember, there's a ton of ways that you can get fit, that you can get different looks, different levels of fitness or conditioning. Just pick what works for you. I'm sharing what Carla does because that's her routine. She gets up, I think she does 20 minutes of cardio, 5 days a week. I could be wrong. She might do it 6 days a week. She lifts. She tends to do more isolation training, 20 minutes. So she does 40 minutes, 5 to 6 days a week. I believe I'm saying that correctly. And then she's also gotten in, you know, definitely a place where she knows exactly what she's eating. So she's maintained this weight and looking amazing for all this time. And I asked her, I said, okay, you know, one of the things that I have read and that I know you guys know I've shared this with you, is I go, I kind of get the idea that there's something to be said about, you know, eating all day, meaning like the smaller meals throughout the day. I said I tend to observe that those people that are really with the look of conditioning that I really like, you know, good muscles, and I'm not going for just like a soft look. It tends to be that they all say they do the small meals out all day. I don't really dig that. I don't like the idea personally, you guys, I'm being honest. I don't like the idea of going, oh, I've got to eat in another 2 hours. Oh, I've got to eat another. I don't like that. But at the same time, if it makes me feel good, if it helps me, my body be healthy, and it helps me function and do what I want to do with fitness, which is get stronger and better and leaner, and be in my best shape, then yeah, I'll do it. So I was asking Carla, I'm like, is that what you do? And she goes, actually, yeah. She goes, but it wasn't in the beginning. She said it wasn't something that was second nature to me. She goes, but what I learned is the more that I started eating every 2 or 3 hours, then my body expected it. So now I don't have to look at a clock. I'll just be hungry in 2.5 hours for something. I know what I eat. You know, she either has her nuts and her protein shakes. She'll do, you know, like when we went for sushi one night, she got just the sashimi. I don't think she had necessarily any of the stuff with rice. But again, I'm not trying to tell you what she does to say, follow her eating plan or her workout plan. I'm just saying she's gotten herself into a point where she knows what works and she's sticking to it. And it's not even like a question. It's kind of like getting up and making your bed. It's kind of like you know how to do your hair. I know I can do my makeup almost with my eyes closed. You know, it's a routine. You don't even think about it. And I asked her, I said, okay, call me crazy. I said, but what would happen? I said, you do cardio every day, and I look at you and you're just in such amazing shape. It's hard for me to look at you and think that like you have to do cardio. You know, and she goes, honestly, and I said, if you really, at this point, if you stop doing cardio, say, you know, you were only doing it like once or twice a week, do you think you'd gain weight? And she said, yes, I would. She goes, I know exactly what I have to do, and this is what works for me, and if I do it and I can, you know, again, not telling you guys that what she does is good for you. Some people like to do intervals, some people like to do HIIT training, some people like to do more like a lower steady state cardio. You know, she's figured out what works for her, but somebody that's that fit, that's that buff, is still, you know, she's eating around the clock with the smaller portions, right? Making sure she's getting her proteins, her nuts, her avocado, whatever. She eats a lot of jerky. She likes that. She's eating around the clock. She's working out consistently. She's still making the effort that those of us that are trying to lose weight have to do. I mean, she's certainly, you never hear Carla complain about what she's eating. She's not like, oh, I really wish I could have cupcakes, you know, and some people have different attitudes towards food. You know, I do know that there's people like me. I'm always going to love pizza. I'm always going to love a cheeseburger. Those are things that I'm always going to want to indulge in. Someone like Carla, she just doesn't go there. So everybody has different levels, but the fact of the matter is she has reached her goal. She's been there for 15 years, and she's still, I don't, you know, it's not like, oh, I have to work at it, but she's like, it's just as important for her in maintaining where she's gotten to do what she's doing. So it's not like you work really hard diet and then get there and you can be like, oh, life's easy. I'm just going to sit around and do nothing. Staying to a certain level of fitness or a certain level of health and well-being, it's always an effort. I'm not rolling my eyes and going, oh, I don't want to do it. You guys know that I really enjoy working out. Heck, if I could do hot yoga and 2 hours of working out every day, honest to God, I'd be a happy person. I would love it if my schedule permits me to do that in the future. But it was really interesting to me to have that talk with Carla and go, wow, you know, if she's been this way for this long, and she knows that she'd actually start to gain weight if she dramatically dropped off with her workouts. It's not easy peasy once you guys get to a point. You still got to work at it. If you look at somebody like Jamie Eason, if you look at Dara Torres, you know, I'm just talking about women, but people that are a certain level of fitness, if they're keeping it that way, they're working at it. So it's not like, sometimes I think those of us that are on the way, we get frustrated because we're like, I'm doing so much work. It's a level of work whether you're on your way or once you get there. I mean, as our bodies get older, I think we just have to accept the fact that, like I've shared with you guys with with yoga and understanding my posture and understanding my feet and how my feet naturally want to go over to the sides, and that affects my posture, it affects how I stand, it affects my balance when I'm doing kickboxing and all that stuff. Once you're aware, you realize like, wow, our bodies and our you know, just our mind, we kind of tend to always want to take the easy way out. You've got to change that. If you want to change your life and be stronger and more fit and more able to do things in a more efficient manner, to be able to, you know, again, do yoga and stand in certain poses, then I've got to work on my feet. I've got to work on how I stand and strengthening different parts of my legs. Otherwise, I'm taking the lazy way out, and my posture is affected, my core is affected, my strength is affected. So it's all it's all a certain level of effort, I guess. You know, and I just wanted to share that with you guys, because if any of you are like me and you look at other people that are already fit, sometimes I think you probably think the same things I have, like they have it so easy. They're making the same, so many of them are making the same amount of efforts. So many of them get just as tired and frustrated as we are. They don't feel like doing it, but they have gotten to the place where they know, like, hey, I can't, you know, I can only go this much further and I'm going to gain 5 pounds. You know, I've got this much leeway on my vacation. And that's an ideal place to be, where you really know. Right now, I'm still at the place where I've got to get my consistency habits back, and then let's see what's working as far as me, you know, losing the weight that I need to lose, and then once I get there, keeping it off, you know. But keep that in mind, and don't get frustrated. Don't get frustrated about how much you're working to get there, because guess what? The most chiseled, buff people that you see, they're doing the same thing and they've already gotten there. So everybody's in this together. And also, don't my shoulders look really, really small in this robe? It's kind of creepy. I am making an appointment. Today is Wednesday. I should be able to see the doctor for x-rays tonight, so stay tuned for some more shoulder news. But anyway, I hope that this rambling on conversation has helped you. It certainly helped me. It helped me to talk to Carla and see that somebody that I look up to so much certainly is not, I don't want to say not perfect. I think you guys know what I mean. She's not perfect in that, like, wow, you know, she stopped. She's just as sensitive to potentially sliding backwards or gaining weight or whatever. She's got to keep doing things to keep her body in that condition. It's not like 1, 2, 3, snap, you've reached your goal weight and you're done. Keep that in mind and don't get discouraged. And that's what, you know, again, we all have to learn to like embrace the journey, because the journey is not supposed to stop. It's not supposed to stop, and it always provides you an opportunity to get better, right? It's getting really dark in here. Like all of a sudden, lighting is really bad. It's kind of a gross day outside. I have to go work out. See you later.